Hello everyone, Pallytime here. Welcome back to Heroes of the Storm. I just unlocked my Abathur Master skin, yes I did, and it has me wanting to play another Zerg character, and considering I've mastered the other two, I might as well start working on Zagara, right? Because that's logic that we can all agree on. Here you go, this is her base skin. We'll go back to this. We are going to be doing the creep build today. This is going to maximize vision for our team, and we're going to make the enemy team proactively hunt my creep tumors in order to basically take that information away from us. If they don't do it, we have a huge advantage.
The swarm endures.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we find ourselves on the tomb of the Spider Queen, which, you know, I'm not upset about. I don't really feel like I pulled off the color match very well, but this is like the only mount that Zagara can have, other than her wings just kind of flapping around in the air. We are going to be picking up Reconstitution at level 1. This is going to increase our health regeneration bonus on creep by 200%. Where does the creep come from? It comes from Zagara's butt. It's her trait. She puts it down on the ground, and then it starts to spread. Very soon after it's placed, it will go invisible. This little tumor will go invisible. The enemy team can kill it by casting AoEs on it or by granting vision. They do have a plethora of ways of killing it, so we're going to have to be pretty diligent. But the idea is we're going to put this creep all over the place. This is going to keep us safe from ganks in a perfect world, if we're looking at it. And it's also going to increase my movement speed and my health regen while we're on it. Now, at level 7, this will kind of escalate a little bit, but as of right now, this is pretty much the basics. We can see that Arthas was coming up behind us, potentially to gank us, but instead destroyed the creep tumor. So it's basically just a way of providing you and your team with information. In regards to Zagara... Whoa, that was a weird sentence. In regards to Zagara's... That makes sense, yeah. In regards to her other abilities, we have Banelings on our Q, which will shoot out these little roly-polies in a straight line. That will impact and then do AoE damage with whatever they hit, or just blow up after a certain amount of time. Let's go ahead and send the Hydralisk out on Brightwing here. They're going to be pretty diligent about destroying my creep tumors, so it would seem. So it may be a little hard to spread the creep, but we are going to try. We're going to try really hard. Looks like there is a team fight going on down here. We're going to send the Hydralisk out on Brightwing and get the roaches in her path. We will be able to take down Arthas, and with some good auto attacks and a little bit of luck. Nope. We could have potentially taken down Brightwing as well. I think that was a pretty good response from us, though. We're just going to spread the creep where we go, and you can see we're gaining all of this vision for just for nothing. You really do need to lay your creep down a lot. And once again, this is another one of those skills that I'm really good at when I'm not recording, and all of a sudden you put a microphone in my face and you get the footage actually to be like meaningful and stick around, and all of a sudden I can't lay creep to save my life. Hydralisk out to trade the enemy Arthas. Basically, Zagara has one of the best early games in the entire Nexus out of anyone in Heroes of the Storm. The Hydralisk deals so much ridiculous damage in the early game, you can basically zone out anyone. That coupled with your Banelings, and you're a pretty big force to be reckoned with in the early game. Let's go ahead, just spread some more creep down here. The idea is if you ever have 3 stacks of this, you're doing it wrong. This crap should be everywhere. As we hit level 4, we are going to get some more offensive power. We are going to get Envenom Spines, which once again adds a lot of damage to our early game power. Basically, it's a little tiny Envenom every time you right-click someone. They're going to be taking some damage over time, or is that not the case anymore? Basic attacks have their range increased by 20%, yep, and deal additional damage over time. I just didn't see it on Arthas when I was attacking him. So basically, when anyone comes near me at all, we send in the Hydralisk, and then we just right-click on him, and you can see that Brightwing took a ton of damage there, and then the Hydralisk just kind of continues to chase forever. Really, really, really strong. We're going to send the Banelings out since she's in point-blank range and just force her out of here. Now, I have not been doing a very good job of picking up spider butts. I've been playing pretty carefully. You may have noticed that my Zagara is not super high level or anything. I do not play her a lot, although I do think that she is a pretty good character in the grand scheme of things. Maybe not top tier, but, you know, she gets the job done. She gets the job done, especially in, you know, a public setting like this where you're gonna be going against randos. She has a really, really strong early game, and you can really use that to get ahead. The creep spread's not going bad, but as you can see, I have 3 stacks, and that's a problem, so we'll just roam around a little bit, spread this a little bit more. We need to be careful about their positioning. We'll send in the Hydralisk to try to deter Arthas again. Ping danger, because it looks like these guys are heading down there. And then, maybe we can lay something down here before he destroys it. Good, you routed me! We'll throw down the roaches. We'll put this down. I guess I never explained my other abilities, did I? My W ability is the Hydralisk. This is where a lot of your early game power comes from. You spawn it on a target, and he will basically chase that target until the end of time. And then your E ability calls down the roaches, which do impact damage, so it's actually really important to aim that circle. And then spawns 2 roaches that'll basically just attack whatever's near them. Really, really strong. She has great zone control. If I was up against one person, we would have no problem just absolutely pushing them out of the lane as if nothing was going on. I'm going to ping danger again because they are missing. Try to keep my team on top of that. Because Arthas does actually have a lot of ganking power. The last time I played Zagara, a lot of you were giving me tips on sending the Baneling in after that middle mage because it'll splash and deal damage to everyone else in the area too. That's good advice. You just always can't do that. We are going to be picking up Endless Creep, which increases the creep spread further and increases the health of the creep as well. So, in a perfect world, Brightwing will not be able to kill it in 1 Q. She'll have to use 2 Qs. Go ahead and just spread it down here, spread it down here, maybe put one over here. Oh, looks like Arthas is coming to kill me. Is Juke City a real place? Maybe. Yes? No? Okay, Banelings, go! Banelings! We're gonna trade with them! I don't know if it's a good idea, but it's what my heart told me to do. And then we'll just replace this creep tumor. The regeneration you actually get from that is pretty good. Like, it's not a ton, but over the course of a laning phase, you heal so much. Oh, I might die here. We'll send the Hydralisk out on Arthas, send in the Banelings on Illidan, and just right-click away. And is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. With the help of our Illidan, we are going to be able to take down the enemy's Illidan. And we'll just go through here and we'll spread some creep, man. If you look at the mini-map right now, I can basically see the entirety of the top lane. We can see this now, too. It is so strong and so valuable to give this information to our team, especially on a map where they're going to have to be going to a common place over and over. So this is really, really good on the Sky Temple. This is really, really good on this map. It's great on Blackheart's Bay. Any map where vision is super important, which, let's be honest, is most maps at the end of the day. This is so damn strong. Let's go back here. We'll get a little bit more vision. Now, this creep tumor does have a time limit. This isn't going to last forever. And I'm actually pretty vulnerable over here by myself. Hopefully the friendly team is doing a good job of pushing the enemy team back. Unfortunately, I can't stay here. We'll just lay down a creep tumor and back it on up. See if we can reinforce middle a bit with our Kael'thas. Now, I do have a lot of spider butts on me, so we obviously want to turn these in as soon as possible. But the enemy team looks like they are going to hit level 7 a little bit before us. And you see, we know exactly where Brightwing is her entire trip up to the top lane. We know exactly where the enemy team is because of the creep. We know they're coming for me right now, so we're just going to back up. It's so strong. So unbelievably powerful. The only other character that grants vision on a scale like this is Tyrande, and I would actually say that Zagara does it better. It's just that Zagara's vision can be countered, and Tyrande's not so much. We do interrupt Illidan. We're just going to make our way away from him. Replace this... Nope, we're going to make our way away from him. Come get me, bro. Where's your evasion at? Where's your evasion at? I'm gonna put a tumor down. What are you gonna do about it? Illidan is actually phenomenal at breaking creep tumors. It actually really sucks. Illidan is free this week, so he's gonna be all over the place. Just right-clicking on Arthas here, doing a ton of damage, but of course he has a Brightwing and he's Arthas, so it's probably not too meaningful. And now we need to back up. Team overextended a little bit there. Nothing much we could do about that. We have hit level 10, so we are going to be picking up Devouring Maul. Devouring Maul, one of the best teamfight ultimates in the game, I feel like. It allows you to set up a lot of damage for your team. For instance, we can come in here, Maul. That would have caught 2 members of the enemy team if they didn't grab Illidan prior to that. And then we can send out the Banelings, which are basically guaranteed to land on someone. We can send out the Roaches, which are basically guaranteed to land on someone. And, in certain situations, you want to use it just to take someone out of the fight. So let's say they had a Lily or something. It would be really good for us to prioritize Lily and those Maws so she can't heal her team. We do not have a ton of vision of the turn-in, but I'm going to try to put my spider butts in the box so we can get an objective of our own. Here we go. Looks like we're going to be uncontested. And then again, we just want to spread the creep wherever we go. Give more vision to the team. If you look at the minimap right now, we have so much vision of the top and middle lane, it's kind of absurd. There we go. Looks like there may be a little bit of a scuffle down in the bottom lane. My positioning here is a little aggressive, but let's come in on Brightwing. We're just going to auto-attack her down. Now that Kael'thas is here, we do need to dodge his stuff, which we did just fine. This Phoenix is from the friendly Kael'thas. Illidan going into that Metamorphosis is going to force me back, but I did spawn in the Roaches right there. And we're going to send in the Hydra and send out the Banelings, which is going to be enough to take him down. Now, Arthas is the only person close enough for me to hit, so I'm going to hit him. It doesn't matter who I'm hitting as long as I'm dealing damage. I truly believe that. Let's go ahead, send out the Banelings again, send out the Hydralisk again on Arthas. Again, positioning so important on Zagara because you do not have a ton of escapes. But with that Army of the Dead and Brightwing by his side, he is going to be able to heal up for a ton. So let's just back out, we'll cut our losses, we'll spread some more creep. Always, always, always be spreading creep. You can see about half of the actual map area that we're fighting in right now because of all the creep that I have spread. And I'm proud of that. That is a staple of a Zagara player right there, a decent Zagara player. I'm not a great Zagara player. If we look at damage done, you can see I have the highest in the game because of that early game aggression, that early game right-click damage, Hydralisk that'll chase anyone down to the ends of the earth. So strong, so damn strong. Go ahead. Tumor us in here, we can see everything happening. We see our team walking into a fight they're outnumbered in for some reason as we turn in these butts. Kael'thas in a bad spot though. We are going to send the Hydralisk out on him and just right-click him down. And then try to reposition. I don't think I want to fight Arthas, so we'll put him in a maul and just retreat to safety. Let's go ahead and lay down another creep tumor. Potentially we could be doing some Hydralisk harassment over the wall, but we're not in too optimal of a position to really be doing that. Once again, let's lay down some creep. Let's spread the creep. Now, I am putting tumors down in places that creep is already in, and that may seem a little bit redundant, but it just means that the creep is going to last longer because the enemy team is going to have a much harder time actually finding all of those tumors. Rather than just laying one down in every area, it becomes pretty easy to spot. Go ahead, mount up again, try to make our way down here. The enemy team does pick up another spider objective, and it looks like they are making their way to the middle keep here. I cannot engage in this. I would die. Really, a lot of Zagara, the subtleties of playing her is just knowing when and when you cannot commit to a fight. You know, Illidan coming in here is going to force me back just by him being out in that Metamorphosis form. It is enough to really scare me off in a lot of situations because I don't have escapes, and Illidan is the king of chasing. Kael'thas could blow me up here, so we do need reposition. We could put down some creep here, which would be increasing our health regen. We are going to be picking up Mutalisks. Mutalisks are really good for Illidan and for the Banshee Queen Sylvanas here because they do chase over terrain. Illidan and Sylvanas do a really good job. Well, Illidan if he picks the right talents. He does have Metamorphosis, so I guess this applies. They do a really good job of kiting away from someone simply by putting terrain in between the two of them. And Mutalisks, rather than the upgraded Hydralisk, will chase over that terrain. Go ahead and send out the Mutalisk on Sylvanas here. Again, that's going to chase her down. It doesn't matter where she goes. She has to kill this Mutalisk in order for it to go away. So it's a pretty good option for us here. Maw going out is going to catch one member of the enemy team. We now have Arthas isolated here momentarily, though. Not going to be able to do too much damage to him. We are going to back up, lay down some more creep. Lily is using a jug of 1,000 fuck yous to keep us all alive. And now Kael'thas may have overstepped his bounds just a little bit. We're going to turn on him with this right-click damage, but it's not going to be enough as Brightwing is able to keep him alive. Brightwing, however, getting very low. Arthas getting low as well, and I'm just trying to stay safe with my positioning here. We do see a Pyroblast coming out on the friendly Lily, which is going to take her out of the fight, and now basically I have nowhere to go but to run away. Remember, the creep is giving us a movement speed increase, so by having it there, we were helping our survivability. We'll go ahead and put creep down here and try to push this lane out. The enemy team is winning all of these confrontations, but if you look at damage done, we have skyrocketed above most other people in this game. Kael'thas is keeping up with us on our team. And Sylvanas on the enemy team is doing a pretty good job, but we've dealt a ton of damage. And we've also given this much vision, which is unheard of on other characters. No other character can do anything remotely like this in the game. Let's go ahead and put this down, We can lay one more tumor down, and then I'm going to recall. Maybe I should try to turn in some coins, or turn in some spider butts. We don't have... Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Here comes the root. Dodge the root. Dodge the root. He didn't root, and we are going to lose those 13 spider butts. Again, it was dangerous to go to the bottom lane when I already had this much vision up here, but, you know, I'm not perfect. Illidan is chasing down our Lily, but right into the entirety of our team, other than Diablo, which is kind of cut off by himself down here. It looks like Illidan is... Oh, excuse me, that was Sylvanas. Sylvanas is going to get blown up, and now our Illidan is chasing down the enemy Illidan. I will just say for the record that Brightwing is a really, really, really hard character for Illidan to go up against, because of that polymorph. And Brightwing is able to deal so much fucking healing. Brightwing has doubled the healing output of the friendly Lily. And keep in mind that she has an Arthas on her team with that Army of the Dead, which is going to be giving him a ton of sustain just by himself. So that healing is just kind of icing on top. And again, look how much damage we can do to Illidan so quickly with just those auto attacks. If he doesn't pop evasion, if he doesn't start to kill off our Mutalisk, we actually deal some really, really meaningful right-click damage. We don't know where they are, so I'm just trying to spread some creep, trying to get more information for our team, trying to put it in all these little crevices that the enemy team may be standing. Let's go ahead and put some here too. And you can see as this game is progressing, our vision is getting more cut off because the enemy team is pushing us back more. This is exactly how a StarCraft game plays out. If you can control the vision, you really do control where my team can go. You control it quite a bit. So I'm going to try to be more adamant about spreading the creep. We are going to be picking up Brood Expansion at level 16, which is going to allow me to spawn 2 of the Mutalisks. My W ability. And again, these are great at killing their backline without having to be close to their backline. It's a pretty expansive range. Let us try to get over here. Lily, taking a very questionable path, is going to be taken down. That's what the walls in our base are for, Lily. Here, be careful, be careful. They do have boss. We're going to have to maw myself in order to get out of this, and it doesn't look like that's even going to be enough. We did actually body block the enemy Illidan with that maw, so that did save us. I cannot get too close to this, but here you go. Here's one Muta, here's another Muta, and now I have to back up. Do we actually have any sippy cups left? I don't think we do. The enemy team with a very dominant push here. Looks like they are going to be pretty decisively pushing down the majority of our buildings that remain. Trying to help when I can. Trying to be smart about it too, though. That's very important. We're going to back up into the base so we can't die. And just look at this Mutalisk doing work. Kael'thas actually having to use his Tornado on that Mutalisk. Otherwise, he would have died from the damage. And that one single spellcast was enough to zone him out of this area when he doesn't have a healer. In matches where supports are not in the game, the damage that this build outputs is really, really tough to contend with. It's damage that sticks. And it's damage that I can do from relative safety as well. So once again, we do need to creep up these areas at the coin turn-ins, at the butt turn-ins, but we're pretty risky moving around the map without vision right now, so we don't want to be out here too long. And let's just start to make our way back towards our base. The friendly team is going to have to do a lot of improving in order to push through this enemy team. Our Illidan is using the standard build. It just seems like he's being crowd controlled every time he goes into these fights, and he's only been able to do 15,000 damage, which is unfortunate. We are going to turn in... Is that enough? Oh, we're fucking one off. Hold on. I can get one real quick. Damn it. I think they're coming to contest us. Yeah, I'm going to back out. Kael'thas is turning those in. Let's go ahead and lay some creep over here. No, Kael'thas, don't do it. We'll send in the Mutas. Here we go. Mutas out. Is that going to be enough? The Mutas are going to be targeted by the buildings, but you can see they just don't give any fucks about terrain. They're going to chase wherever they have to. We know the enemy team is going to be moving up from the middle, which is why I have some really passive positioning here. We need to be very careful. Unfortunately, the friendly team did not have passive positioning. Gonna throw down the maw. Hopefully it catches 2 members. It only caught 1. And of course, Brightwing is always there when she needs to be. And our team is gonna be outrun. The objective will likely get this fort, I hope. But the enemy team can simply push for a win right now. The friendly team not really grouping up for these team fights, or Diablo has had some really weird positioning in some of these. Our Illidan, again... Oh my god, Diablo's died 11 times? How? How? Illidan gets crowd controlled every time he goes into a fight. I don't really think it's the Illidan's fault. But Kael'thas and I have been doing some serious damage from the backline. It's a little unfortunate. It's a little unfortunate. So do not judge this build by the outcome of today's match. Judge it by playing it. It is really, really strong. When you're able to have some semblance of map control, I mean, look at this. We haven't killed a single structure for the enemy team. When you are able to have some map control, you will have creep everywhere on the map. You will know everything that the enemy team is doing, as long as you're adamant about laying this creep down, because the spread is just out of this world. The enemy team is likely going to be pushing in for a win right here. Let's go ahead, send in the mutas. We are going to have to back up because of Illidan reasons. He has not popped evasion yet. There he goes. He is going to take a lot of damage from that living bomb of Kael'thas, but of course the enemy team is going to be able to pretty much walk in here more or less uncontested. And even if we do save this structure and push them back, they do have the objective pushing in every other lane as well. So this isn't looking like too good of a position for the friendly team to be. Lily, don't spread the bomb to me, please, baby girl. Thank you. Trying to get off a decent Hydra here. Dodge the tornado, let's just put him in a maw. Fuck you. You sit there. Now, putting him in a maw apparently does call off the Muto, which kind of sucks. I want to live, I want to live, I want to live! And the game does end, unfortunately. But that's the creep build. At level 20, you pick up Bolt of the Storm, which allows you to basically get out of situations. You can see I was talking a lot about playing passively, a lot about positioning, and Bolt of the Storm just allows you to walk right into a lot of these situations and then peace the fuck out when it gets a little too hairy. Now, they did have a great team to go against our team, and we definitely were not as coordinated as we could have been, but don't let that stop you from trying out this build if you play Zagara, because it is phenomenal. Thank you all for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. You learn more from your losses than you do from your wins, and I'll see you all next time.